while, I thought we'd just do something different, something new, something quick. Basically got a tripod for my camera, recently got a new camera actually, and got this green screen for Christmas. So, thought I'd just try something short, so I know that the idea of it is going to work for something larger I have planned. Anyway, I thought I would just talk about a certain segment of King's Quest 3. I tend to like to call this lovely little segment, amongst some of my friends, the incest boner. And surprisingly, it's not in this very crazy book by Peter Spears. So this book is insane, and we really should talk about it and some of the other books that Peter Spears has written for Sierra at some point. There are some weird things about King's Quest 3 in this book, however, this particular segment isn't in this book. Probably because they thought it was weird themselves. No, this is actually in the game that that Roberta wrote. You know, Rosella, she really wrote the games herself. No, written by Roberta. Interestingly enough, when I was actually trying to find the segment in the game, it seems no one has actually captured it. It is a thing that actually exists. If you actually look at the transcript of the text of the game, it is all definitely there. So we're going to talk about it regardless. Although, since this is a quick little thing, I'm actually not going to have the segment that I'm talking about. But again, next time you play King's Quest 3 and you get to this spot, go and give these things a go and you will see the horror. Okay, so King's Quest 3. It's Alexander's first time to shine. He spends most of the game as Gwydion, trying to go from Ludor, where he's been kidnapped, to Daventry, a place that is his destiny to become Prince Alexander, but only for really a couple of days and 6 months. Again, we can talk about the absurdity of the timescale of King's Quest in general at some point, but in terms of just King's Quest 3, there's a certain point, if you don't know what happens in that. Actually, my friend Space Quest Historian is going to be doing a retrospective of King's Quest 3 very soon, so I would check out his channel for that soon. But anyway, there's a segment of King's Quest 3 that Alexander saves Rosella from a dragon. Hooray! Again, we can talk about till the cows come home how King Graham is a bad king and a bad dad. But we'll save that for another time because that needs a lot more time devoted to it. Anyway, you save Rosella. The game auto scripts in that, you know, as you untie her, Alexander says, "I'm your long lost brother, Alexander." And she just basically goes, "Let's talk about it later. Let's go see mum and dad." And again, at this point, most Let's Plays on YouTube just go straight and do that. No one talks to it. No one looks at her. You know, she's a valid character, people. Talk to your sister. Anyway, if you do talk to your sister, she then goes on about the fact that Valenice always used to tell her about the fact that Alexander has a birthmark shaped like a heart on his ass. And at that point, Alexander drops his trousers. And not Valenice. Rosella proclaims, "It is you, Alexander. Mummy and Daddy will be so happy to see you." Maybe not quite Mummy and Daddy, but you know, like, it's exuberant. She has accepted that this is her brother based on the fact that this man has a heart on his arse. But if you look at her or feel her, pastors make choices. I'm just saying. Anyway, if you look or feel at her, it says this particular quote, and I'm currently going by the transcript of the game, so this is definitely in there. Princess Rosella is gorgeous. Why, you'd be interested in her if she weren't your own sister. Her hair is long, silky and golden. Her eyes are as blue as the bluest sky. Her skin is creamy white, and her body... Well, embarrassed, you clear your throat and avert your gaze. Why would you need to do that, Alexander? Why? Incest boner. So that's pretty clear about what's going on there. You know, kind of blurred about not outright coming out and saying the words incest boner, but kind of there. You can actually talk to Rosella further as you're going down, and Alexander, in his narration text box, does allude to the fact that, wow, not only is your sister beautiful, but she is brave and she is intelligent, and you feel proud to know her. Which is fine if it hadn't come after all that other stuff. I mean, you can also hug and kiss her, but again, at least those are, you plant a brotherly kiss on her cheek. Maybe not so brotherly, but, you know, let's not quite go there. Let's keep it a bit more innocently. Yeah, so it's interesting that none of these things are actually in this book, considering that this book loves to come up with its own crack definitions of things. I think I might have mentioned several times, if anyone's come to my streams, about something called the Banner of Bruce, where basically Peter goes into his own little fiction, where apparently somewhere in Ludor there is a little town, a little hamlet called Bruce, and at some point Thor and the Hulk were fighting in Bruce, near Ludor, near Daventry, and they decided to put up a banner for Thor in the town of Bruce and call it the Banner of Bruce. That is officially crack. And, you know, Peter Spear's books do go absolutely cray-cray. Like, not only is there the King's Quest companion and what we're currently reading on my stream, which is King's Quest 6, like, which is still part of the companion. It's just literally the segment that is King's Quest 7. I also have Leisure Suit Larry, the entire series, written by Peter Spears. It's nuts. That one is actually unauthorized. These are the authorized ones. So yeah, I think we should definitely talk about those at some point. And I think we should also talk about Alexander's actions in King's Quest 6. But again, that is something that would do much better with a longer video where I actually edit things better. But so we have, I think we've hopefully are all on the same board about exactly what happened in the end of King's Quest 3 between Alexander and Rosella. And yeah, if you want to have a chat about it, there are the comments below. If you want me to talk about any of the other topics that I very briefly touched on, again, this was just for a test, so there are so many things that we could talk about. We could talk about player agency versus character agency, or, you know, at least knowledge, because knowledge informs choices, and then that is essentially, never mind. There are topics that we can talk about when it comes to adventure games that I could go on forever, but this was just a very, very small piece of King's Quest 3. And yeah, I'm gonna get going. Bye bye.